The STAR test. What is it? It is a state-administered test. It's given every year to students over different subjects. Every student every year has different subjects to test on. But is it really necessary? Or is it just a complete waste of the student's time and brain power? Well, if you ask me, I feel like the STAR test is a complete waste of time and should be removed for the reasons of people have testing anxiety and they can easily bomb that test. And you have teachers and students rushing and panicking about having to pass the test in order to move on to the next grade. I don't think that we should sit there and have to rush the lessons rather than sit there and learn. Let me bring you to my first point. Test anxiety. There was a study that I found in an article written by S News that shows that anywhere from 10 to 40% of students can actually suffer from test anxiety. Well, what is test anxiety? You have a test, you couldn't really understand the fundamentals and everything about the unit, but then you take the test and you just panic because a test is worth so much more than just a normal homework assignment. And so that all just starts flooding into their brains, and then they panic about it, and everybody just freaks out, and then they'll completely bomb the test. Now, in such a big test like what we have, it's just if you fail it, you don't move on to the next grade, or it's not good to have tests or to have this test administered to people that can have test anxiety. And when there's such a high percentage of numbers, people that can have test anxiety, and bomb the test just because of that, I feel that's enough reason on its own to be removed. But just in case it's not, let me bring you to my next point, which is everybody's rushed. In the same article by S News, they asked teachers and interviewed them about how they feel about the STAR test. And the teacher said that they feel that the test it's not necessary. Nobody should have to take this test in order to move on to the next grade. Mainly when the teachers and students are having to rush to learn and teach everything, and it's just such a fast-paced learning style that some students just can't slow down and understand what's going on. And if you slow down for a little bit, you can be set back way too far to even recover. Then that's a unit or so that your students won't learn, and they won't be able to pass the test just because of that, if it's one of the important units. And then even if it's not an important unit, it's still going to be asked quite a bit, and then masters and approaches is what sets your school down in the state of Texas. You can get a bad rating based on what your students make on the test, then you can end up getting fired. And they just panic about it, and everybody rushes. Nobody understands. So with the teachers even admittedly saying that they feel rushed and they have to try and teach the students super fast, I feel like it's even harder on the students. Yet there were no interviews with the students asking them about how it was. I feel like the teacher's opinion on its own is enough. And in the same article, in the same section, they said that the teacher said that they should have enough grades on their own from tests and homework assignments to where if you pass all 6 weeks, whatever your 2 semester grades are, the average of that should decide whether or not you pass or fail. In conclusion, I feel that the STAR test should be removed for the simple reasons of students that suffer from test anxiety, teachers having to rush to teach all their assignments, and I feel like there's enough grades in the grade book as it is, and there's no need to have any more, mainly with such a big test that weighs so much.